Snort, snort, snort,
Hogan drip,
snort, snort,
I got the drip, go.
snort, snort, snort,
Hogan drip,
snort, snort.
I got the drip, go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Level 1 podcast. An hour late and hundreds of dollars short. Story of my goddamn life. What's up, folks? Today is Monday, the 24th of October, 2022. The show is starting late by about an hour. Well, I guess you could say about 30, 40 minutes late. Normally I would start the podcast around like a little over after 11 a.m. It's now 11:40, just hit 11:40. I don't like being late. I detest being late. I like having a schedule that I adhere to, that you guys can depend on. But sometimes life throws you a curveball, a monkey wrench into your plans, however you like to use an anecdote to describe it. Today, I'm in bed, and my wife had already gotten up earlier. Well, I should tell you, today is Monday the 24th of October, 2022. We're halfway through my streaming week. Today will be a full day of gameplay streaming. It's actually a double new release day where we're going to be doing both Gotham Knights and Plague Tale Requiem. So I'm excited for today. I'm hoping that we don't lose too much gameplay, although admittedly, because now I have important stuff to talk about on the podcast today, we're probably going to lose some gameplay of Gotham Knights tonight. And obviously, I apologize for that. But, over the years, this has become more about the human relationship and the human factor than all just gameplay, I think. Especially on a podcast here that I do every day. You guys want to know what's going on with me. So, allow me to tell you. So, here's the thing. All right? I should actually bring this up because it actually is kind of, I think, unrelated. But yesterday, my wife says to me, after we have dinner, we were relaxing in the living room for a few minutes, and she said, "Hey, just so you know, I just remembered, when I was coming home from work the other day, the indicator light came on the dashboard of the car that said tire pressure may be low." Now, this happens every once in a while for good reason. You might actually have a leak in your tire, which we've had once and had it repaired a couple years ago. Or your tire could just have lost air naturally over time. This usually happens when there's a change in weather or seasons, or if you hit something, you hit a curb or whatever, you can lose air in your tires. So I said, well, geez, I hope it's not a leak. We've had that issue before. It's annoying to have to bring the car to the shop and have them fix it and bring it back home. So hopefully it's not that. Maybe we just need to fill the tires. So, I turned on the car. Car ran beautifully. We actually have a home tire pump just for something like this. So that way I don't have to go to a gas station or whatever to do it. Checked the first tire. This was the tire that previously had a leak in it. It was around, I don't know what the rating is for tire pressure, but basically it says right on our tire, you never should overfill it to over 40. I tested it. It says it's 25. I said, okay, so it's a little over half. I can see maybe why the indicator went off. Let me pump it up. So I did. I pumped it up to like high 30s or something like that. Seemed fine. Seemed firm. Didn't seem like there was any issue. So I said, let me check the other tire on the front. That also was rating a 25. I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is probably just natural air, leaving the car. That's what it's got to be. If it was one was 20 and one was 30, like, okay, this one has a leak. right? But the fact that they were both equal makes me feel it was just natural air losing over time. Plus, the weather literally just changed here in Washington. So it all kind of ties together, makes perfect sense. I pump both tires. Indicator goes off. We're good to go. All right? And that was that. All right? So everything is, going normally. Everything's fine. And my wife had to go to work early this morning. She was opening, where she works. So she was up early. That means Jasper's up early, up and about. And I just try to sleep through it. There's not much I could do about it. I'm trying to sleep through all of this so I could get my rest. Got a full day of streaming ahead of me. And it was just about the time when normally I would get up. I would say maybe 20 minutes earlier than when I would normally get up. All right? And I'm laying there in bed, and all of a sudden, I heard footsteps coming up the stairway again. I said, this is not good because I know I heard a cat go into the garage already. This is definitely not good. So she says, honey, I hate to wake you up, but obviously this is important. The car won't start. The car won't start. That's shocking. I literally tested the car last night and pumped the tires, and there was no issue at all. So why won't the car start? Okay, well, let me get up. So I get up. I put on pajama pants. I put on my t-shirt backwards because I'm half asleep. I don't even know what I'm doing. Grab my keys, stumble into the garage. All right, sit down in the car, go to start it. Battery works, lights are on. It's not like it looks like the battery's dead or anything. It just won't start. Now I'm listening. I don't hear any clicks. I don't hear any weird sounds. Just and won't start. Of course, I look at the dashboard. Now it's like Christmas, right? You got to check engine light on. There's another light there that's like this power steering wheel. The thing is, I looked online, and basically when you have issues with a car like that, even though it says certain things on the dashboard, it might not necessarily be true. Like, it actually says a common thing that happens with the car is that the power steering will go on, but it's not actually true. It's related to just the car having a malfunction, and then once the computer resets, it'll just go off. There's nothing wrong with the power steering. Okay? I don't think there's anything wrong with the power steering. I think there's something wrong. Something went wrong with either with the engine or the computer. Who knows, right? But I'm not a car guy. Just for transparency here, this is a 2017 model. I bought it in 2017 because I knew that buying that model the same year that it actually makes it cheaper because the 2018s were out. But I didn't buy the more expensive model. I bought the last year's model essentially to save a little bit of money. I basically had no leaks. I looked. Nothing's leaking out of this car, right? No fluids are low. There's nothing wrong at all. All right? From what I can see. So it's only a 5-year-old car. It's a 2017. And by the way, I'm not exaggerating, 10,000 miles. We just hit 10,000 miles in 5 years. So if that's any indication of how little that we drive, I drive on a day out, and my wife a few times a week goes to work and back. She used to work really close, in which case it was less than a mile drive. Now she works further away. Okay, so this car is not used. It's not like, oh, this is a car I drive everywhere. This is a car with almost no use whatsoever. All right? So, yeah, to have it break down in the garage is pretty upsetting because this is bullshit. It's not like this is a reason for this to happen, all right? And the thing is, when it rains, it pours. Because let's recap already just this month the crap that's happened to me, okay? Number one, my dishwasher breaks and leaks all over my kitchen. So I have a broken dishwasher, and I'm still undecided on if I want to call to get someone to try to fix this thing or if I want to buy a new one, because a new dishwasher can cost anywhere from as cheap as like $400 up to maybe, over $1,000, but you could get a nice mid-range dishwasher for probably $500-600, and mine's already over 8 years old. Repairing it might cost $300-400, in which case, why repair it, right? So I'm already have a broken dishwasher that I'm thinking, later this month we got to figure out how to fix it or whatever, all right? Then what happens? I get over $400 in chargebacks, right? And thankfully, I have a very supportive audience that helps me out, and you guys basically negated the chargebacks. You did. Within like a day, you rallied and supported me so much that those chargebacks have been negated, and now it's just like a normal week for me now. Instead of being behind over $400, it's like a normal week for me now, which is nice. Okay? So thank you so much for that. That was really unexpected and greatly appreciated. Now my car doesn't work. All right? This is ridiculous. So what do I do? Well, what are you going to do? Your car won't start, right? Luckily for me, I have a repair shop right around the corner. But I can't get it there. So first thing I do, I call the repair shop, talk to the person, tell them everything. They're like, all right, don't know what it is. You got to get it in. We'll see if we can look at it today. And if we can't, we'll look at it definitely by tomorrow and go from there. All right, let me get it to you. What else can I do, right? So I call a tow truck. Tow truck comes, gets the car, literally drives it around the corner, drops it off. Here's your bill, $200. It was a 5-minute car ride, but there was no way I was going to get the car there without a tow truck. $200. Great. That's just a great start, right? So that's just before they haven't looked at the car yet. All right. So now the car's there. By the way, so my wife can't work today. She was supposed to work. She already has issues getting hours at a job. Like she's trying to get more hours at her job, and she's not getting as many hours as she wants or needs. And now she loses a shift, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's too late to get it's way too late to get a bus or something to get there in time for the shift. So she had to call out. It's messed up. So now out there, she's stuck at home now, and hadn't planned on being home. Which she's gonna relax, which is fine, but it's a lost day of money that she needed. And I say we needed, and and now I already $200 gone, and I don't know what's gonna happen with the car. Now I did skip one part. When the tow guy showed up, he tested the battery and said the battery is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. This is not the battery. Okay, he says maybe what it could be, and again, this guy's not a mechanic. He's just a tow guy. He says, maybe this is a situation where there's a timing off with it, he thinks. He says it's weird because as he's trying to start the car, it sounds like the timing is off. And he says maybe it could be a sensor in the computer that's not timing right, aligning. He doesn't know, but that's why we had to drop it off at the shop. And the shop even said, they said, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to do diagnostic. We got to hook up your car's computer to the system, see what it's saying, and go from there. But essentially from what the tow guy thinks, he doesn't think it's anything mechanical. He says it sounds like it might be like a timing or computer problem as opposed to, something that's broken, actually physically broken in the car. And it's just dumb because can you imagine if it goes there, they test it and they say, oh, it's just a computer issue that we can fix like instantly. By the way, here's your $500 bill, right? That very well could happen. So I don't know what's going to happen. All right. So I just got to shrug. I'm not a car guy. Previously in my life, I would call my dad on stuff like this. But my dad used to deal with cars before they had all these complex computers and shit in them, So he doesn't know anymore. He's a mechanic guy. If this was a car from the 1970s or 80s, he'd know everything about it. But he doesn't know anything about modern cars, so he's not going to help me, So don't know what's going to happen. It's in the shop. They said they're going to call me. They said they might not get it to it today because this was, a last-minute thing, dropping it off like this. At the latest, they'll definitely look at it tomorrow morning. They'll call me, tell me what the findings are, and go from there because they're not going to do any work without my authorization. Okay? So it is what it is. All right? And I already got... Okay. Here's my best advice I can give to anyone, all right, on the internet. Stop acting like a know-it-all. People do this all the time, okay? They hear a story from someone. Oh, I know. It's dibba-dibba-dib. You're not a mechanic who's going to diagnose my car through the internet, number one. You also don't know anything about the car. I just said I bought this car in 2017. There's no warranty on it. The warranty expired a long time ago, all right? People are like, oh, why don't you, it's under warranty. Bring it back to the dealer. There's no warranty. The warranty expired a long time ago. Okay, there's no warranty to bring it in and get it fixed or anything like that. It's been done. All right, so I love the know-it-alls, the internet know-it-alls who know everything about everything. Oh, you see, Phil did it wrong because it was actually his alternator carburetor. And all he had to do was spin 3 times, spit on it, rub it a little way, and it would have fixed itself. And by the way, he could have brought it right into the dealer and got it done for free. It's like, sure, whatever you say. But anyway, you know, it sucks, obviously. This was not something that was planned or intended. Now my wife is missing work because of it. You know, we got to hope that this is something that can get fixed relatively quickly, because my day off schedule for this week is Thursday. On Thursday, we had a ton of important stuff to do, you know, including grocery shopping, obviously. Do we have an appointment this Thursday? Not this Thursday. No, I actually think it might be 2 weeks. I'm trying to remember now. So that's not a big deal. You know, I was supposed to get the final pieces of my Halloween costume because my costume is right now incomplete, which sucks, obviously. I don't want an incomplete costume for Halloween, but what are you going to do? If I can't, you know, if I don't have a car to drive somewhere to get this stuff, and, you know, I can order random stuff off the internet. It doesn't mean it's going to be good. I mean, I ordered the costume off the internet and it was missing things, right? You know, other things too, like we're out of a lot of stuff in the house, and this was supposed to be our week because I got paid by YouTube this week, that we were going to like go to Costco, and we were going to buy filters for the house because now it's gotten cold here. It's the fall. It's gotten very cold here. At night in particular, the temperatures dip pretty low, and right now we're not using heat, but we want to start using the heat, but we need to change the filters. The filters in our furnace are filthy at this point from a very busy spring and summer pollen season. I'm sure those filters are absolutely filthy. Okay, so we got to change those out. We were actually talking about getting the best grade filters you can get, the ones that are like high grade. They clean not only dust but other particles, bacteria, like basically get the best ones, because we've had such a bad year for those kind of particles and shit that it makes sense to get the best ones. All right, you see how bad my allergies were this year, right? Thank God right now, you know, I was outside, everything's good, nice brisk fall air. You know, I don't have any post-nasal drip right now at all, which is excellent. But you guys saw how bad it was, you know, this week, or this year with my allergies. And so I definitely need the better filter. So there's just a few things, you know, all these things that were coming up that we need a car for Thursday, you know, to do all this stuff. If we don't have a car past Thursday, we don't have any food in the house, you know, what are we going to do? And of course, my wife has to get back to work. We need a car for that. So it is what it is. It's adult life. It sucks. It was unplanned. Actually, it's a little lucky that it happened today, because better to happen today and give it a few days to go to the shop and be repaired and maybe have it by the end of the week for my day off, rather than, you know, having it happen last minute. And now my day off is really screwed because there's no way for us to get around, right? So let's just hope that whatever it is, seriously, fingers crossed, arms crossed, legs crossed, whatever it may be, let's hope that this is not some incredibly expensive issue. Let's hope that it's something that can be fixed relatively quickly and easily. Let's hope that it's not something that recurs. And let's hope that, you know, I don't get screwed here. I mean, it's only a 5-year-old car that I really don't drive. How could it have a horrible thing happening to it? You know what I'm saying? If this is a car that I drove all the time and, you know, I was hitting curbs and doing horrible things to it, this is a car that literally sits in the garage half the time. It only gets driven when my wife goes to and from work and on my day off. That's it. 10,000 miles in 5 freaking years. So can you imagine if it's something drastically bad? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. It sucks. That's why I'm late. Didn't want to be late today, obviously. It was not my intention. Already out $200 for the tow job, and don't know what's going to happen now, you know, with the rest of this. You know, we'll see. But that's what happened, all right? So we'll go from there. You know, no, I probably won't have any updates anyway for at least a day or two. So not much else to say about it, okay?